This is going to be a brief explanation of how to use the Cattle app. And so I've gone ahead and started the app, and in my case, a Phantom 4 Pro is connected. The first thing I'm going to do is to go down here to the preferences, and in the preferences it's going to say a couple of the things that used to be in the waypoint missions. And so the first one is a maximum distance to the first waypoint, and this just makes sure that you do not choose a waypoint mission that's like a mile away from where you are launching the drone. It's a check, if you will. The second one is the auto flight speed, and this is in feet per second that you can set. So in this case, we're going to go ahead and set this to 15 feet per second. And then the last one is the maximum flight speed, which we're also going to set to 15 per second. And we're going to save the preferences after we're done with that. And that's allows you to give the preferences that used to be on the waypoints to be able to set those. So now we're going to go ahead and set up the first waypoint mission. So we'll go ahead to the setup missions. And what happens here is first we're going to hit the plus button on the top corner. And we'll have the mission name. We'll go ahead and set it. I'm at my RC field, so we'll do RC field 1. And now we're actually ready to set the missions. One of the things I want to do is you can either have the first person view from the drone, or you can switch it on over to the map. And so for now we're going to do the first person vision, or the first person view, and we're going to go ahead and set up 6 waypoints. So we're going to get started, and there's 2 ways to start it. Either you can use the on-screen start, or you can go ahead and use the joystick controllers. I'll use the on-screen start. We'll have the drone hover, just to be able to record the home point okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go up for a bit. And we're going to go ahead and go to the first waypoint. It's going to be a small green outbuilding that we have over here. And we're going to do a couple things. I'm going to lower the gimbal so that we can see it from this angle. And one of the things I do want to say for the Phantom 4 Pro, whose camera has an adjustable focus, it's really necessary to press the object that you want to view to make sure it's in focus before you set the waypoint. So we're going to go ahead and set the waypoint here once, and that's all that is to set the waypoint. And what's going to happen is when it goes on the regular mission to the first waypoint, it will simply take a picture there with that particular focal point and with that particular gimbal angle. And so now we're going to go ahead and kind of go around this a little bit, and we're going to, on the other side of this object, we'll go ahead and set the second one. And for this one, I'm going to go ahead and go a little bit lower. You actually don't want to go too low because otherwise the GPS has a hard time doing a lock there. But we'll go ahead and do waypoint number 2. And so now when it goes to waypoint 2, it will take a picture with that particular focus point as well as the gimbal angle. One of the things I did want to mention, if you want to undo a waypoint, you just do a long press and it'll turn back to red. So in order to redo the waypoint number 2, we'll just click it again and it will lock in that. So now what I'm going to do is kind of head off across this field out here. It's next to some cow pasture. And there happens to be some blackberries. Not a whole lot of objects out here that I can view. And I'm going to go ahead and bring it down. And we're going to take a picture of some blackberries that we have in abundance out here. Let's find those blackberries here. Here we go. And there's our blackberries. We're going to go ahead and just kind of put it down a little bit, and we'll take waypoint number 3. And again, I want to do the focus on the blackberries, so let's go ahead and reset that waypoint for number 3. And now we're going to go ahead and take another waypoint of the blackberries from a slightly different angle. There we go. We'll do the focal point again, and we'll do waypoint number 4. One of the things I did want to mention that you cannot set the waypoints too closely together. They have to be at least 1 meter apart, which shouldn't be a issue. So now what we're going to do, we have 2 more waypoints to go, and I'm going to bring it back. We have a couple, this is our RC field, and so we have a couple, a nice structure. Keep us out of the rain and stuff. There we are. And I'm going to go ahead and take 2 pictures over here. So in this case, I'm going to go up a little bit further. And we'll do waypoint number 5. Again, do the focus. Do waypoint number 5. And then for the final one, I'm going to go to a side shot of the structure. There we go. And now take a picture of a couple tables that we have at the end. I'm going to do the focal point and then waypoint number 6. And that's all we have to do. That's how we set up an entire mission. A couple other things I want to do is you can't actually take video or you can't take photographs during this setting up the mission. If you want to change the camera settings, for instance, though, I do allow those. So the button at the bottom allows you to change the aperture and those type of things. I strongly recommend that we keep it on auto because we don't know what the lighting conditions are going to be when it actually runs the mission. And then you also have the menu at the top that allows you to do image ratios and those type of things. For this particular application, I'm keeping the image ratio at 4:3 and the image format only at JPEG. And so that allows those options. So what I'm going to do here, let me go ahead and press back. And so, the other thing I wanted to show, so that's the waypoint setting up, and the other one is on the map. So when we look at our map, we can see all the waypoints on there. The blue dot is myself. The home point is where the home point obviously is. And then we have the red drone. And then we also have the entire 6 waypoints. So let's go ahead and land this. And we're going to go back and fly the waypoint. And I'll give some more instruction about that. So that's all we really need to do as far as setting up the waypoint mission. I'm going to go ahead and stop the video here, and then I'll start another video for actually running the waypoint.